Welcome to the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Array. We're brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals and the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. I'm here with my good friend, Jen Biederman. And
Biederman. Come on, Frank.
to you, it's Biederman.
Yeah.
To me, it's Biederman.
Well, that's not the worst thing I've been called. So
Yeah.
I'll deal with that.
So we'll clarify, though. Biederman is the
Yes.
right way to say it. Biederman.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gosh, we've known each other for 10 years, something like
At
that.
least more than that.
Of course, we were partners together on your loan officer training classes that you had when I was over at the National Real Estate Post with Brian, and really cool stuff you had going on. And you guys you have really, my goodness,
We've leveled up.
you really have. It looks
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So now, are you? What's your role with the company? Are you the CEO, partner? What are you
I'm a partner
Okay.
with this Learn to Lend. So it's learn the number two lend.com. So I'm a partner with it. We got together probably about a year ago to really make over the program that we previously had,
Yeah.
to modernize it, update it, make it, we got rid of some of the fat, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like we had some stuff that was probably a little bit outdated or less relevant. We had a lot of stuff about the mortgage meltdown, which, 10 years ago was a lot more relevant than it is
True.
today,
Yeah.
but kept with the core of the program. So, we're talking about the nuts and bolts, the fundamentals, the loan programs, FHA, USDA, conventional, non-conventional, VA, all that stuff, to really give new loan officers something more than what they get in the NMLS course.
Right.
The NMLS course,
No, that doesn't teach you how to be a loan officer. So
exactly.
so let me clarify for everybody, just to be clear. So what Learn to Lend does here, this is like, okay, I'm a branch manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go ahead and hire some new loan officers and train them up. Now, when I was a branch manager, this goes back many years, new loan officers were a big part of my growth strategy. And I would take people that had never been in the loan business before and I would train them. I had my own curriculum that I put together. I would teach the classes on my own in my office, right? And I tell you what, Jen, I must have trained, not that many, but at least 20 or something like that, 15, 20 loan officers. And out of those guys, still today, now, guys, this goes back to 2005, 2004, something like that. So 20 plus years ago. But to this day, there's still a handful of the guys and gals that I trained that are top producers in my area, working for other companies. So the point I'm trying to make there is if you're a branch manager, and I know, Jen, branch managers, of course, want to go for top producing people, all the time, and absolutely you should. However, don't discount the new LO, but the challenge is training them, right?
Yeah.
Training them.
100%.
And what you guys have is a beautiful turnkey plug and play. We'll train your loan officer how to be a loan officer class, right? Do you guys help with the licensing aspect at all, or is it?
We don't. This is really a class. I mean, look, the NMLS stuff's going to teach you the law. It's going to teach you the these are the things you can't do, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this class is really designed to teach you how to do the job.
Yeah, like you go from like prospecting to how to fill out a loan application.
Yep.
What the guidelines are for various products. That the process of the loan, like really the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, taking you through that whole process, beginning to end, because look. And you've been through this, and we've done this. We did this when we were doing this with the National Real Estate Post. If you have somebody out there that knows how to sell something, like that's a skill that is very hard to teach.
True.
That innate ability to sell. So if you find that person that can sell, then what you need to do is give them the tools in their tool belt to be able to knowledgeably talk about products and get passionate about them and help their customers. Because that's really what the difference is, like you could, because learning mortgages is like learning any other thing, like learning to sell TVs at Best Buy.
Right.
You ever go into
Yeah.
Best Buy and you want to buy a TV and you're like, I'm lost. And,
Yeah.
there's that one guy that just knows
Knows it
everything
all.
about all
Yeah.
the TVs. Like, do you want a gaming TV? Are you watching movies? Are you watching sports? And that's what you need. That's what
Right.
you need to sell mortgages. You need somebody with that information translated into mortgage speak, obviously,
Hmm.
to say like, well, how do you earn your income? Do you
Yeah.
have a supplemental income?
Yeah.
And be able to process all that information and say, okay, I'm looking at your options and here's the program that I think works. Here's how we take the application. Here's how we go through underwriting. And to be able to walk somebody through a process, make them comfortable and make them feel like they're being informed and being educated and understanding their options and what they're going to do. And that's what this program does, because it teaches you all the programs. It teaches you how to identify, based on your customer, who you're talking to and who you're eliciting information from, what is the best loan program for that person? What's best for my customer? And how do I explain all of these things to them so that they want to do business with me and then end up in the right spot?
Well, what I like about this is it teaches all that stuff. I think a lot of times what'll wind up happening if companies are bringing on new loan officers, it would be nice to run them through your class, right? Run them through
Mm-hmm.
the class, get all the way through it, get your certificate at the end, so we know that you've
Yep.
gone through it. Because even if they at that point get attached to an existing loan officer as a loan officer assistant or something like that, at least they start with a very strong fundamental concept of the business of how to assemble a loan, what products are out there, what the guidelines are. They're not going to know it all perfectly, right? They're not, but they're going to need that tutelage still once they get through the class with an experienced seasoned LO, more than likely. Right. But what this does is it puts them like months ahead of that learning curve. And now, let me just ask you a few quick questions here. So,
Sure.
first of all, in the past, you guys had it where like, okay, I own a company and I want it on like a company level,
Mm-hmm.
so I can bring through and monitor, the new people. We still have all that.
Yeah, we still have company discounts. Like, if you want to buy in bulk, we can do that.
Yeah.
Our LMS platform is a little bit different, but at the same time, we can provide, updates of who's gone through it. And obviously, as we said, everybody gets a certificate at the end.
Right.
And just to, step back for just a second, there are also, so the class is divided up into modules. They're self-paced.
Right.
So, in terms of like, there's no set time, like, oh, I got to be in class at this time. The
Right.
students will
It's
take it
online. It's
on
it's
their
on
time.
demand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Classes that
on
they go
demand.
through. Hmm.
You're going to pick up where you left off. You can't jump forward. Like, you got to go through the class. You got to
Hmm.
take quizzes at the end of each module. You got to take a final exam at the end. You got to pass the final exam with I believe it's an 80%. It might be 70, but
Hmm.
pretty sure it's 80.
Hmm.
Because we want to make sure that you've absorbed the material. And we
Sure.
want to make sure that,
Yeah.
you've done this. And one other point on who should be taking this class, because you're right, because this class really does not just work for new loan officers, but it can work for just about anybody stepping into a position in the mortgage industry and walking into a branch, because it will teach them the language. Like, the
Hmm.
language is a big barrier in this
Right.
industry. And it's one
Hmm.
of the reasons why also we recommend taking this class probably before you take your NMLS class, because you go into that NMLS class and yeah, you've read all the materials, you've gone through the class, and you go to take the test, but all that stuff might as well be a foreign language, because you don't yet speak the language or understand the industry
Right.
to really absorb the information that's being provided, to take the test. And you saw this when we were doing this before. We had people who had failed the test before, took this class, then went back and passed the test,
Hmm.
because this is a class that gives you the background to
Right.
understand the material
Nomenclatures and
and to
things like that.
process.
So it made more sense when they
Yeah,
were taking the
yeah.
test. Yeah.
And for people in the office, whether you're a processor, whether you're a loan officer assistant, understanding the beginning to end of the process and where you fit into the process. And
Mm.
again, the language and the programs and all that stuff, that's very helpful to students, or to, excuse me, to new hires and stuff like that. And
Absolutely. Hey there, if you're loving the tips so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and then click on the bell as well so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. And also, would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next. Let me ask you this. So,
sure,
what is the cost for someone
the
to
cost
take
is
the class?
$7.99 a user.
Okay.
So, and as I said, we do offer, bulk discounts for
Sure.
companies that want to
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
we want to make
company,
this part of our onboarding. Here's the numbers that we're
yeah.
thinking, so you
Yeah.
can always reach out to us and we'll be able to work through whatever your numbers are.
Yeah, and here's and I remember when we were doing this in the past because this is how I was encouraging the branch managers and companies out there to make use of this product if they wanted to, start going down the path of training loan officers from scratch or training their LOA candidates or whatever the case may be. For me, the way that I would handle this is just me. You, of course, listening, watching, do it your own way, of course. But to me, it would be like if you were going to advertise this on Monster or something like that, thinking about a career in lending, give us a call. I would say, I would make it mandatory that they buy this on their own and go through it and then come back with the certificate and then we can have an interview, right? That's
Right.
that's how I would do it. And the
Yeah.
reason why is because if we're going to be brutally honest here, a career as a residential loan officer, if you do what you're supposed to do and you put in the time and the effort, you're going to make as much as a doctor in a couple of years or more. Right? It's an extremely lucrative field to be a
Right.
part of, and for you to have to invest in your education of $795 or $99
$99.
to be able to potentially make more than the guy who's taking your tonsils out, right? um you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
small
Yeah. And
investment, but I think they
mhm,
should pay for it. I would say if
yeah.
you're serious and you want to learn how to be a loan officer, it's going to cost you $800, whatever it is. Go through the
Yeah.
class. I'd like to see you get through it in a matter of 30 days, whatever it is, or as fast
Hmm.
as they can, right? Come back with your certificate, and then we'll go ahead and start an interview process from there. And I just think that's a
Sure.
wise way to go about it. If somebody was willing to put in the money, they put in the effort, they got the certificate, I think you're working with somebody that, okay, they've seen it
That
because
wants it.
because this class, based on the curriculum, if it's anything like it used to be, this class will weed out the chaff very,
Yes.
very quickly. So you may
Yes.
have somebody who seems great, they're energetic, they're into it. You're thinking this person might make a great LO. They might get neck deep into this class and come back and go, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah. It's not what I
Right.
want.
And
Yeah.
then great. Now
Sure.
we figured that out,
Yeah. No,
So
100%. But also, the other way you could look at this too is that, with people out there, looking for their career, looking for, different companies that they may want to work for. A lot of companies also use something like this as a recruiting tool,
mhm.
to say that, hey, we are going to invest
Train
in
you.
you.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're going to invest in you.
Hmm.
And, they may say, we'll invest in you. But it's temporary. We're going to put this into you and we're going to take it out of your first commission.
Yeah, that's a good way
A
to do
lot
it
of
too.
there's a
First
ton of
closing, we
different
take
ways
eight
to
hundred
do
bucks
this.
back. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there's a ton
Mhm.
of different ways to do this, in terms of using it as a recruiting tool. Because look, I mean, there are people out there, you know, everybody wants a job, but everybody also wants to feel like they are invested in and like they're
Mhm.
being given the tools to be successful
Mm.
in that job.
Mm.
So, that's one way also to say, like, hey, we're kind of co-invested here. Like, work together. We believe in you, you believe in us. Like, let's do this and let's roll. So there's a number of different ways you can do it. And, for any, aspiring LOs that aren't attached to an office yet, like, you could go out there and say, like, hey, I took this class, I got my license, like, I am clearly motivated and you should give me a job because here's
Yeah,
what I've done to show you
indeed.
that I'm committed and
Right.
that I want this.
Let me ask you this. So, in the past, and guys, just so you know, this is kind of impromptu, right? We didn't discuss any of this before we pushed the record
Nope,
button, 'cause
I'm
I
flying
like it.
blind.
I like it this way. So in the past,
I'm sweating, but okay.
yeah, when guideline changes would come down, things like that,
Yep.
you would update the
Yeah.
courses, of course, and then notify those who have gone through the course that there has been a change, and they could if redo the module or whatever of what,
Yeah.
is that still applicable in this case?
Well, we do constantly update, like when, like, every year guidelines,
Yeah.
change, that kind
So
of
you're
stuff.
just always updating it.
We're just always
You're
updating.
going
Like
through it. You're going
it's
through the freshest version of the
yes,
guidelines,
yeah,
essentially. Yeah, that's
every
fine. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
and you have access to the program for like 45 days. So, if something changes in that time, you can go back. We also provide like worksheets and stuff like that that you can get and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like just to have like little cheat sheets and things like that. So
Is it all text or is it text and
no,
video?
they're videos. Every module is a video.
Okay.
And there's also like some instructional videos in there. There's some other stuff, like walking you through applications and things like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all of the, and that was one of the things about the way we had it before. It was very like click,
Yeah.
click, click,
Yeah.
click.
Yeah.
This one's, it's a lot more vibrant,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. I don't
Well,
know
it
where
looks
vibrant
beautiful.
came
The
out of my
site is
head.
amazing. Yeah, it's incredible. I can imagine
Yeah,
it's just
we've
wonderful
really been
inside.
working hard on it, and it's been a
Yeah.
labor of love to really, bring this program back, because there is demand for it. And I feel like I've been beating this drum for as long as we've known each other. But this industry's got to get younger.
It
There's got to
does. Yeah,
be
we're
a younger
struggling.
generation. And
I'm kind of like the median guy, and I'm at like 64. That's not
I'm
true.
not that
There's
far behind you, Frank.
there's youngins in there. They're out there.
Yeah.
There's some
No, they're out
youngins.
there, but there need to be more.
There's
And
still a lot of us legacy people out there. That's for sure.
right. And the industry's really got to catch up in terms of,
Mm.
because look, at the end of the day, whether it's age or whether it's ethnicity or whatever, this industry needs to, find its next level of loan officers, who also find the next level of customers.
Hmm.
So, like that kind of outreach,
It's needed.
into demographics. I mean, look, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, you can't, like our generation, how long is our generation going to be buying houses?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Not much
maybe I
longer.
got another one in me, but I'm not sure. So
I think I'm on my last one. I'll be honest. I don't think I'm buying another one. Anyways.
right. So I mean, you gotta follow where the business is going. So that means you need loan officers that are in that demographic, because nobody's going to want to talk to me about originating a mortgage. I mean they might, because I'm pretty cool, but I'm not gonna. Not really going to put myself there. So,
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Learn to lend.
Yes.
With
The
a
number two.
Number two. So
Yep.
learn number 2lend.com.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and head on over there, man. Check them out, get a hold of them, and see how this can help you with your branch, with your company, with your business, right? If you happen to be just a person who was thinking about getting into lending and you want to learn, how to actually be a mortgage loan officer, you could do it on your own, of course, as well. And you've got your certificate handy, so you could take that to any potential interviews. But great stuff, Jen. Man, good job. Looks terrific. Looks terrific.
Thanks. We're glad to be back. We're really excited.
Yeah. So good stuff. All right, guys. So we'll go ahead and leave it there. It is learn to lend with a number 2 for the 2, learn number 2lend.com. Go there, check them out, connect
and you
with
can
the
also
team.
you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, also Learn to Lend. We're really trying to also on the socials create like a community for new LOs, like, to communicate, to, collaborate, and really, and to bring stuff to us. Like, tell us what you want. Like, tell us how we can help you. Jerry Maguire, help me help you.
Right.
Figure out what kind of training you or the rest of the industry needs in this space, and we'll get on it.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
we're
Great,
happy.
Jen.
We're excited.
All right, thanks. So go to learn2lend.com, guys. Get the new loan officer program launched in your branch or your company and get them trained up so they're starting with a good foundation, saving you a lot of time, a lot of headache,
And a lot of
and
money.
and a lot of money and getting them deployed into their position quicker, much, much
And
quicker.
also freeing you up to do what you need to do.
That's right. Yeah,
So
indeed. Indeed. So good stuff, Jen. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll
thank you,
bring you back
Frank.
again.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. For the rest of you guys, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next time here at the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast, brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals and Loan Officer Breakfast Club. And we'll talk to you again soon. See you. Bye bye.